Do you know who Melanie Klein is? Well, if you don't, that's okay. A lot of people don't. But she is a wonderful individual because she came up with the theory of object relations. So what is that? We go about our life, and when we interact with people, we internalize who they are in our mind. And sometimes the reality of the representation is very similar, and sometimes it's night and day between the internalized love object in the mind versus the person in reality. So what might happen if you're someone who has experienced childhood trauma, say for instance a parental figure or a caregiver, a parent, was very mean to you, vicious, aggressive in their language. So you might have had all of your basic necessities covered, food, shelter, all of these things, or maybe you didn't, but in addition, you're experiencing this emotional abuse. Over time, you're going to internalize that person as a monster, probably more aggressive, more vicious, more volatile than in reality. And why is that important? These representations in our mind affect the way we think, feel, and behave. So for instance, if you grew up with a mother or a father or a sibling who was very abusive towards you, and this continued for many years, then you're going to develop this concept in your mind that social dynamics or dynamics with people who are your loved ones you care about is negative, is toxic, right? Might be abusive. And that's normal because you don't necessarily know anything different. It's normal for you. So you grow up with this blueprint in your mind. So imagine now you're going off to university or you're starting your new job, right? You're starting to individuate. You're starting to just try to figure out who you are and find your footing. But now you're interacting with your boss who looks a lot like the abusive mom. And in your mind, when your boss might give you some constructive feedback, you might view it as negative. You might internalize it as something aggressive. And now all of a sudden, you're feeling very emotionally overwhelmed. You might be feeling triggered and all of these things because of what has happened to you in the past. So when we're talking about object relations and we're talking about objects that are internalized in the mind, not only do we have these images in the mind, but they can also be unconsciously projected onto other people. So we need to be very careful. This is why individuals say, and it's not uncommon to say something along the lines of, in a new relationship, someone brings their baggage, right? So for instance, if you just started a new relationship, then you're probably thinking, what baggage did I bring to the relationship? Or yeah, I definitely brought some baggage and here's the baggage that I brought. But when we bring baggage into a relationship, right? So not only are we bringing the baggage, but now partner is bringing baggage too. So now we have all of these bags and nobody to help us with them. And that's a problem. So what are we going to do? This is where conflicts come into play. This is where, the need for couples counseling also come into play if people don't work on their own stuff and then work together. Because then that's a big problem when we're interacting with other people and projecting mom instead of actually seeing that other person, because that other person can be far, far removed in terms of behavior and personality traits when compared to mom. So you're not really giving that person a fair chance, unfortunately, whether it's boss, whether it's partner, whether it's your kid, so on and so forth. So having that said, if you're someone who projects, if you're someone who brings baggage into relationships, then it's imperative that you process that. And if you don't know how, we got you. We can help you at The Mind People. My associates are wonderful. They can help you schedule a consultation appointment. You'll meet for 30 minutes and you'll discuss your needs, your wants, and you'll discuss what goals and how to get there. It might be a resource, it might be therapy, it might be a workshop. So allow yourself to give back to yourself so that this way you can not only live a life that is in line with your genuine sense of self, but you can also have genuine relationships where you're not projecting that abusive mother, father, or sibling.